Alex Rider woke up with a start, the echoes of screams and fire still ringing in his ears. He sat up, his body covered in sweat, as the vivid memories of his village's destruction played on a loop in his mind. The room was silent, but the weight of his nightmare lingered, making it hard to breathe. Bad dream again? Alara's voice was soft but firm. She stood by the door, her silhouette outlined by the faint glow of the moon. Yeah, Alex replied, running a hand through his damp hair. It never gets easier. Alara stepped closer, her expression determined. That's because it's not just a dream. It's a reminder of why we need to fight back. Alex met her gaze, the fire in her eyes undeniable. I know, but what can we do? We're just kids. Alara pulled a small device from her pocket, activating a blue hologram that flickered to life. I found this message. It's from the Resistance. They're planning something big, and they need our help. Alex leaned in, his heart racing as he read the message. A rebellion? Yes, Alara said, her voice unwavering. And we're going to be a part of it. The thought of defying Governor Cray and his oppressive regime filled Alex with a mix of fear and excitement. His mind flashed back to the day his village was attacked, the day his parents were taken. The enforcers had shown no mercy, rounding up anyone who dared to resist. Alex had managed to escape, but the scars of that day had never healed. We can't just sit here and do nothing, Alara continued, her voice breaking through his thoughts. We have to take a stand. Alex took a deep breath, the weight of his decision pressing down on him. He knew joining the resistance would be dangerous, but the alternative, continuing to live under Cray's tyranny, was unbearable. All right, he said finally. I'm in. Alara's face lit up with a determined smile. Good, because we have a lot of work to do. The following days were a blur of secret meetings and whispered plans. Alara and Alex gathered information, reaching out to other half-human, half-alien children who were tired of living in fear. They trained in the shadows, learning how to fight and evade capture. One evening, as they were finalizing their plan to sabotage a government communication tower, Alex's nerves got the better of him. What if we fail? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Alara placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. We won't. We've prepared for this. Trust me. As night fell, they made their way to the outskirts of the city, where the tower loomed like a silent sentinel. The air was tense with anticipation as they approached their target. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, every step bringing them closer to the point of no return. Stay low and keep quiet, Alara instructed, her eyes scanning the area for any sign of enforcers. They moved swiftly and silently, using the cover of darkness to their advantage. Alex's hands shook as he set the charges, his mind racing with thoughts of what could go wrong. Almost done, he whispered, his voice trembling. Hurry, Alara urged, her gaze never leaving their surroundings. Just as Alex finished, the sound of footsteps echoed in the distance. Someone's coming, he hissed, his heart skipping a beat. They ducked behind a nearby crate, holding their breath as a patrol of enforcers passed by. The tension was unbearable, but they remained hidden until the danger had passed. Let's move, Alara whispered, and they quickly made their way back to the safe house. The next morning, Alex and Alara stood by a window, watching as the communication tower erupted in a blaze of light and sound. The explosion was the first strike against the oppressive regime, a signal to the people of Ziggurat that the resistance was real. We did it, Alex said, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. Alara nodded, her eyes shining with determination. This is just the beginning. We have to keep fighting, no matter what. As the flames died down, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. The road ahead would be difficult and dangerous, but for the first time in a long while, he felt hope. The resistance was counting on them, and he was ready to rise to the challenge. A sudden knock at the door interrupted their thoughts. Alex and Alara exchanged wary glances before opening it to reveal a man they had never seen before. I heard you might need some help, he said, his eyes filled with a quiet strength. Name's Drake. I'm with the Resistance. Alex Rider stood beside Alara, the early morning light casting long shadows across the dusty streets. The ruins of their latest target, the government communication tower, lay smoldering behind them. It was their first significant act of defiance, and the realization of their actions left Alex feeling a mix of exhilaration and anxiety. "Nice work last night," said a voice from behind them. Alex turned to see Drake, the man who had saved them from the enforcers. He was a tall, imposing figure with a rugged appearance that spoke of many battles fought and survived. "But this is just the beginning. We have much more to do if we want to make a real impact." Drake's presence had been a surprise, but his knowledge and experience were invaluable. He had quickly become a mentor to Alex and Alara, guiding them through the intricacies of rebellion. Today they were planning their next move. "We need to hit them where it hurts," Drake continued, spreading a map across a table. "The supply depot near the outskirts of the city. It's heavily guarded, but if we can destroy it, we'll cripple their operations for weeks." Alara leaned over the map, her sharp eyes scanning every detail. "What's the plan?" she asked, her voice steady and confident. Drake outlined the strategy, his fingers tracing the routes they would take. "We'll approach from the south, through the abandoned sewer tunnels. They're rarely patrolled, so we should be able to get close without being detected." Alex listened intently, committing every detail to memory. The thought of another mission filled him with a sense of purpose. He had lost everything to Governor Cray's regime, and now he had a chance to fight back. As night fell, Alex, Alara, and Drake made their way to the sewer entrance. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. Alex suppressed a shudder as they descended into the darkness. The tunnels were a labyrinth, but Drake navigated them with ease, leading the way with a small, dim flashlight. "This way," Drake whispered, his voice echoing off the walls. "We're almost there." They emerged from the tunnels near the perimeter of the supply depot. The area was bustling with activity, guards patrolling the fences and workers moving crates of supplies. Alex's heart pounded in his chest as he surveyed the scene. "Stick to the shadows," Drake instructed. "We'll split up and plant the charges at key points. Alara, you take the north side. Alex, you're with me." Alara nodded, her expression serious. "Be careful," she said, glancing at Alex before disappearing into the night. Alex and Drake moved swiftly and silently, keeping to the cover of darkness. They reached the first target, a large storage building filled with crates of ammunition. Drake handed Alex a small explosive device. "Place it near the foundation," Drake said. "We need to bring this whole building down." Alex's hands shook slightly as he set the charge, securing it in place. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. "Ready," he whispered. They continued to the next target, a fuel depot. The smell of gasoline was overpowering as they approached. Alex set another charge, his movements more confident this time. As they were about to move to the final target, a shout rang out. "Intruders!" Alex's blood ran cold as he saw a group of guards running toward them. "We've been spotted," he said, his voice tight with fear. "Stay calm," Drake replied, drawing his weapon. "We can handle this." The guards opened fire, and Alex and Drake returned the shots, using the crates for cover. The sound of gunfire echoed through the night, and Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as he fought to protect himself and his comrades. "We need to get out of here," Drake shouted. Alara should have finished by now. They fought their way back to the rendezvous point, where Alara was waiting, her eyes wide with concern. "What happened?" she asked. "We ran into some trouble," Drake replied, his voice calm despite the situation. "But we got the charges set. Let's get clear." They ran back through the tunnels, the sounds of pursuit echoing behind them. As they reached the exit, a deafening explosion rocked the ground beneath their feet. They emerged into the open air just in time to see the depot engulfed in flames. "We did it," Alex said, his voice filled with relief. Drake nodded, a rare smile crossing his face. "Good work. But this is only a small victory. We have to keep pushing." Alara glanced over her shoulder, her expression tense. "What now?" Alex Ryder stared at the holographic map spread out before him, his mind racing with the details of their next mission. The room buzzed with the low hum of conversations as members of the resistance prepared for the upcoming operation. Beside him, Elara and Drake discussed strategy in hushed tones. "These supply routes are critical," Drake said, pointing to several key locations. "If we can disrupt them, we'll significantly weaken Kray's hold on the city." Elara nodded, her analytical mind already devising plans. "We need to hit them simultaneously. A coordinated strike will maximize the impact." Alex listened, absorbing the information. Every day, his resolve grew stronger. The recent success at the communication tower had bolstered their confidence. But he knew that each mission carried higher stakes. "What's our role?" Alex asked, stepping closer to the map. Drake glanced at him, respect evident in his eyes. "You'll lead a team to intercept the convoy heading to the southern depot. Elara will handle the northern routes with another group. We need precision and timing." Alex felt a surge of determination. "We won't let you down." Later that night, Alex and his team waited in the shadows near the southern depot. The cool night air carried a hint of anticipation. Alex checked his equipment one last time, ensuring everything was in place. He glanced at his comrades, seeing the same mix of fear and resolve in their eyes. "Remember, stay low and move fast," he whispered. "We take out the guards first, then intercept the convoy." The team nodded and they began their approach. The depot loomed ahead, its guards patrolling with a sense of overconfidence. Alex signaled his team to split up and take positions. Moments later, the silence was shattered by the swift and silent takedown of the guards. Alex and his team moved like shadows, neutralizing threats with precision. As they reached the convoy's path, they set up the ambush. The convoy appeared on the horizon, a line of vehicles carrying crucial supplies. Alex's heart raced as he gave the signal. Explosions rocked the night, disabling the lead and rear vehicles. His team sprang into action, engaging the surprised soldiers. Alex fought with a focus he had never known, each move calculated and efficient. He felt a strange calm as he defended his comrades, their trust in him driving him forward. The convoy guards were outnumbered and overwhelmed, and soon the resistance had control of the supplies. "We did it," one of his team members said, a mixture of disbelief and triumph in their voice. Alex nodded, scanning the horizon. "We need to move these supplies to our base before reinforcements arrive. Let's go." Back at the base, the atmosphere was electric with victory. Alex and his team were greeted with cheers as they unloaded the captured supplies. Elara approached, her eyes alight with pride. "Great job, Alex," she said, clapping him on the shoulder. "We intercepted the northern routes too. Kray's forces won't know what hit them." Drake joined them, his expression serious but pleased. "This will cripple their operations for weeks. Well done, both of you." As they celebrated, Alex couldn't help but reflect on how far they had come. The resistance was growing stronger, their actions more impactful. But he also knew that the road ahead was fraught with danger. That night, as Alex reviewed the day's events, Drake approached him with a grave expression. "There's something you need to know," Drake said, his voice low. Alex looked up, curiosity piqued. "What is it?" Drake hesitated before speaking. "Before I joined the resistance, I was one of Kray's top enforcers." The revelation hit Alex like a punch to the gut. "You worked for Kray?" he asked, struggling to process the information. Drake nodded, his eyes filled with regret. "I did, but I left when I saw the horrors he was committing. I couldn't be a part of it anymore." Alex's mind raced, piecing together the implications. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because I need you to understand that people can change," Drake replied. "And because there's someone within our ranks who hasn't yet revealed their true intentions." Before Alex could respond, an alarm blared through the base. The sound of urgent footsteps echoed in the corridors. "We're under attack," someone shouted. Alex and Drake exchanged a quick glance before rushing to action, the weight of Drake's revelation still fresh in Alex's mind. Alex Ryder raced through the corridors of the resistance base, the alarm blaring in his ears. The sudden attack had caught everyone off guard. He turned a corner and nearly collided with Alara, her eyes wide with urgency. "They're coming through the east entrance," she said, catching her breath. "We need to hold them off until we can evacuate." Alex nodded, his mind focused on the task at hand. "Gather as many fighters as you can. We'll make our stand there." They split up, Alex heading towards the armory to arm himself. As he strapped on his gear, he saw Drake organizing a group of resistance fighters. "Drake," Alex called out, "we need to protect the east entrance." Drake's eyes met his, a silent understanding passing between them. "Let's go," he said, rallying the fighters. They moved swiftly through the base, the sounds of conflict growing louder. As they reached the east entrance, they could see enforcers breaching the outer defenses. Alex took a position behind a barricade, his weapon ready. "Hold your ground," he shouted to the others. "We can't let them through." The enforcers advanced, their weapons blazing. The air was filled with the crackle of gunfire and the shouts of combatants. Alex fired back, his shots precise and controlled. Around him, the resistance fighters fought with determination, each one knowing the stakes. As the battle raged on, Alex spotted a familiar figure among the enforcers. Governor Cray himself had come to lead the assault. Alex's blood boiled at the sight of the man responsible for so much suffering. "We need to take him down," Alex said to Drake, pointing towards Cray. "If we can capture or kill him, it could turn the tide." Drake nodded. "I'll cover you. Go." With a burst of adrenaline, Alex moved from cover to cover, closing the distance to Cray. He could see the governor's cold, calculating eyes scanning the battlefield. Alex aimed his weapon, but just as he was about to fire, an enforcer tackled him to the ground. They grappled, rolling across the floor. Alex fought with everything he had, his training kicking in. He managed to throw the enforcer off and quickly regained his footing. As he stood, he saw Cray aiming a weapon at him. "End of the line, Ryder," Cray sneered. Before Cray could fire, a burst of energy hit him, knocking him off his feet. Alex turned to see Tara, her eyes glowing with a strange power. She stood firm, her hands outstretched, energy pulsing from her fingertips. "Get him, Alex!" she shouted, holding off the enforcers with her power. Alex didn't hesitate. He charged at Cray, tackling him to the ground. The two men struggled, each fighting for control. With a final surge of strength, Alex overpowered Cray, pinning him down. "It's over, Cray," Alex said, his voice filled with resolve. "You're done." Cray glared up at him, but the fight had gone out of him. Alex secured Cray's hands and pulled him to his feet. Around them, the enforcers were retreating, unable to withstand Tara's power and the resistance's determination. Drake approached, a look of relief on his face. "We did it," he said, placing a hand on Alex's shoulder. "Cray is finished." Alex nodded, still catching his breath. "Thanks to Tara," he said, glancing at the young girl who had saved them all. Tara smiled, the glow in her eyes fading. "We all did it together." Back at the base, the mood was one of cautious celebration. Cray had been captured, and the enforcers had been driven back. But Alex knew their fight wasn't over. They had struck a significant blow, but rebuilding their world would take time and effort. As they gathered in the main hall, Alex addressed the fighters. "Today, we showed that we can stand up to oppression. We've taken a major step, but we must remain vigilant. Our journey is far from over." Alara stepped forward, her voice steady. "We've proven our strength and unity. Now, let's use that to build a better future." The room erupted in cheers, the sense of unity and purpose stronger than ever. Alex felt a swell of pride as he looked at his friends and comrades. Together, they had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious. As the celebrations continued, a message came through on the base's communication system. "Attention, resistance leaders. We have intercepted a transmission indicating that Cray's forces are regrouping for a counterattack. Prepare for imminent action."